Algebra, it's very simple really, and I'm going to show you just how simple it is. In fact, it's about as easy as ABC. These are Manchester United footballers who helped me show kids 2 or 3 years ago in England how to do algebra. On the left is Diego Fall, and on the right is John O'Shea. Now then, first of all, you'll need this sheet, okay? All right? You can download it from the website. Let's count the number of faces on a cube, or this box, okay? There's one on the top, one on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the outside, and therefore the number of faces on a cube is 6. Now then, what we're going to do is we're going to represent the number of faces by a letter. We'll call it F. The number of faces on our cube is F, all right? So how many faces? There were 6. F is equal to 6. We can put 6 into the table, okay? In the column F, put the number 6. Now then, how many corners on a cube? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 4 is 8. So, if we use the letter C for the number of corners, then C is equal to 8. And we can fill that in, okay? So we can fill that in your table. Now then, what about the number of edges? Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 edges on the top, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 edges on the bottom, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 edges around there. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, and therefore, if we use the letter E for the number of edges, E is equal to 12. That's not too difficult, is it? Well, you can fill that into your table as well. So, okay? Now then, here's the algebra bit. What we're going to show you now is an equation. The equation says F plus C minus E equals something. Okay? What we're actually saying is the number of faces, okay, which is 6, plus the number of corners, which is 8, minus the number of edges equals 12. What does that come to? 6 plus 8 is 14. Minus 12 is, yes, 2. So the solution to our equation for this particular object, a box or a cube, is 2. You put that into the last column. All right? Fill that into your table. Now we're going to take another object. It's a pyramid. Now it's not quite like the pyramids in Egypt, because the pyramids in Egypt have a square base. This pyramid has a triangular base. Okay? And you can imagine it. I've drawn that dashed line so that you can imagine what's around the back. You have to think about it. Okay? Now then, let's do the same thing again. How many faces are there on a pyramid? Can you see it from this diagram? Well, it's 1, 2, 1 at the back and 1 at the bottom. So that's 4. So F is equal to 4. Okay? So you can fill that into your table. All right? Now then, we'll do the same again for the number of corners. How many corners? Well, you can see them all here, can't you? Because there's 1 at the top and 3 around the base. So the number of corners is 4. That's correct. And you can put that into your table as well. Now then, you can see where we're going now. We're going to determine the number of edges. How many edges are there? Well, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's that one round the back, the dashed line that I've drawn in for you. So the E for the number of edges equals, yes, 6. So you can put that into your table. And now we go to the equation again. Faces plus corners minus edges equals what? Well, 4 plus 4 is 8. Minus 6 is, yes, 2. And that's magic. Because it turns out all the objects that you can make of this kind, actually, if you take the number of faces plus the number of corners minus the number of edges, always comes to the number 2. In fact, that was discovered by a very famous mathematician who lived in St. Petersburg in Russia. His name was Leonhard Euler, and it's called Euler's equation. And in fact, it's a very interesting and important bit of algebra. And it's very simple and easy to understand. And in fact, most of algebra is that easy to understand. Now, for your homework, see whether you can do the same calculation for something that's a bit more difficult. One of them is the icosahedron. Can you say that? Icosahedron. If you don't know what it is, look it up on the internet, okay? And see whether you can work out how many faces it has, how many corners, and how many edges, and see whether it comes to the number 2. And in fact, here's a football, or we call it a football in England. Here I know you call it a soccer ball. You can do the same thing for this. You can work out how many faces it has, how many corners it has, and how many edges it has. And you can do your homework to see whether it comes to the number 2.